Y'all are here this morning. Celebrating love and celebrating life this morning at the Center of Peace. Glad to see you all. Glad to see you. My name is Twana Malone. I'm the senior minister here at the Center of Peace, the spiritual leader, and we have a wonderful service this morning. We have our licensed professional practitioners assisting us in the service this morning, along with others. I'm sorry, let me back up. I forgot to mention my pronouns are she, her, and they. Okay. Assisting us this morning in our Sunday celebration, leading us in our meditation is Alima A. Boyd, leading us on the ringing of our chakra bowl. That is to give us an opportunity to bring our attention and our awareness into this space and to become so present in it is Cynthia Banks. Leading us this morning in our treatment, our affirmative prayer is Zuma Gonzalez. Leading us this morning in our selected readings is Susan Saunders. Holding consciousness for us this morning, knowing the truth about us and our time together and its magnificence and unfolding in a high way is Jackie Jackson. Greeting all who walk in this morning. I believe that's Linda over there. Yeah. And we have Al, Nicole, and Vern on the ones and twos this morning. And let me also share with you that we have a whole bunch of children in the back this morning. So we might hear them, and it's okay. And I should say, too, that we are having some problems here this morning. Not really problems, but some things is going on with the building, and sometimes it happens. And we are just affirming and knowing that everything is unfolding in divine order. Yes. All right. With that, let me just invite you all to just take this moment to turn within, not miss out on this opportunity to sink ever more into our inner world. Alima?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So now I invite you to close your eyes and turn within. Anchor yourselves in your seats, making yourselves as comfortable as possible. As we embark on this inner journey, the journey within where all life, all power resides. Knowing there is a power and a presence that lives deep within the core of who we are. There's a power and a presence that lives at the center of every cell in our body. It is our source of life. It gives us breath. It animates as us. So turn within and notice there is a light within us, a guiding light, an inner guide that never lets us down, that never leads us astray, as long as we are in tune with it. So as we rest in a few silent moments, let's just reflect on that inner light. as we walk this inner journey, we find a place where we know all things. All knowledge, all intelligence is available to us. The answers to your many questions are right here. Allow this power, this presence to express through you as love. For it is love. Let go and allow yourself to be the expression of peace. For it is peace. This presence within you is all that is. It is beauty. It is abundance. It is divine. It is spirit. It is God. And we are one with it. It is you. So as you shift your awareness to the present moment, always remember who you are. And so it is.
The allness of life is God. God is all there is. God is the truth. The truth of all life, of everything, everywhere, everyone, always. Magnificent in its being, ever creating, ever saying yes, for it is life, always being. God is that. And God is what I am what God is, one with it, one with life, one with all of it, united. I speak this for myself, and I know it for everyone here, united, one life. Everyone here, everyone not here, one life. Just one. And I'm knowing that this service is part of that one life. Perfect. Complete already. Magnificent. The words, the music, and all that goes into the service itself. All the people, all the thoughts, all the love. It's all God. It is all in this service, unfolding beautifully. I know this to be the truth, and I'm grateful for it. Grateful for the knowing that it can only be perfect. It can only be whole. It can only be complete because it can only be God. Life in itself, of itself, as itself, expressing in this service as everyone here. And with that, I place these words in the activity of the law, knowing that it's already complete. It's already unfolding. It is already unfolding. We are seeing it as it is in every moment. And with that, then, we anchor by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Zuma, for leading us in our treatment this morning, and thank you, Alima, for leading us in our meditation this morning. I forgot to mention who's doing our music this morning. That's Miss Marcy Francis and others. We're delighted, yes. And I want to take a moment to welcome those who are joining us online through Facebook and our YouTube channel. Welcome. All right, if you would, join me in turning your attention, as I do, to our vision and our mission. You can find it right here to my right. Also in your chairs, there's a card, and on it there are QR codes. You can use that to download our vision and mission as well, so that you can read along with us. So, if you would, please join me. Our vision, a loving and peaceful world where all of humanity is honored as the divinity within is experienced. And our mission, the center of peace, is a loving, inclusive, and vibrant community that utilizes and demonstrates spiritual principles and practices to cultivate powerful individuals who together create peace throughout the world. And so it is. And now I'd like to invite you all to please stand and join us in the singing of our congregational song, I'm One. Our congregational song is written by our licensed retired practitioner, Bayless Webb. You can find the lyrics to the song in the back of your chair if you're not familiar with it. You can also use the card in the back of your chair by downloading a QR code to find the lyrics to our congregational song as well. All right, I think we're ready.
I'm one with Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and it dwells inside of me. This perfect Spirit, pure loving Spirit, rests in everything I see. God walks beside me, protects and guides me. It's ever with me. Where'er I go, I trust its power, God's healing power. Its love surrounds me, and this I know. I live in spirit, I breathe in spirit. It lives within me, and so I am a spirit, I think a spirit. Its life is my life, I know. God's life is my life, I know. God's life is my life, I know.
And So while we are still standing, let us not miss out on this perfect opportunity just to look into somebody's eyes. Allow your eyes simply to glance around the room as we acknowledge the humanity in another and welcome each other here this morning to the Center of Peace, letting each other know that you're welcome and you're loved. Yes, you may be seated. Here at the Center of Peace, we are an open and affirming community. All are welcome here at the Center of Peace, and I'm glad about it. If this is your first time here at the Center of Peace, we love to be able to take this opportunity to acknowledge your presence and to honor your humanity. If you are inclined to stand and feel comfortable doing so, please do. If this is your first time here. Yeah, all right. Center of Peace, would you please join me as we allow love simply to flow from our hearts through our hands as we say, welcome to the Center of Peace.
Welcome to the Center of Peace.
We know who you really and truly are.
We know who you really and truly are.
Unique, divine, and perfect in every way.
Unique, divine, and perfect in every way.
We honor you.
We honor you.
And we welcome you. Welcome to the Center of Peace. You may be seated. Yes. Please do, after service, find our first-time visitors and welcome them. Let them know that they are welcome anytime. All right. A few announcements this morning. I'll be doing the announcements. Just want to remind everybody that our Education Care Circle sent out an education survey. It'll take about 10 or 15 seconds to complete it. If you haven't done so, please take some time to complete the education survey. It will give us, the facilitators, your practitioners, an opportunity to get clear about what the upcoming year's class offerings should be. So we want to try to do more tailoring around what might be beneficial to the congregation. So if you haven't, please do. There is going to be a special Sunday service, Sunday celebration, July 28th. Myself and Janet McDonald, we are working on putting this service together. What I can tell you is that we are allowing ourselves, as I always do, to be divinely guided. What it is feeling like for me, it'll be a Sunday service of prayer, quiet and prayer. More quietness and more prayer. So please put it on your calendar to be here. I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful service. All right, beyond the four walls, beach days. The next beach day is happening July 17th. Put it on your calendar. If you are, all right, what they call a beach bunny, come out and join the others of us who love to cook in the sun. Who love to cook in the sun and love boardwalk food. Listen, it's a good time to fellowship and to be together. We'll be doing it July 17th and August 21st at Ocean City, New Jersey. We have T-shirts for sale, our Pride T-shirts that was designed by Sophia and brought into fruition by Carletta. They're on sale if you'd like to buy a T-shirt. We also want to ask everybody to take some time to review the Center of Peace on any of the platforms, to leave a message about your experience so that others will know and have some idea about what they're doing up in there. Who are those people? So please do take some time to do that. All right, beverages. If you are having beverages in the sanctuary or anywhere in the building, please make sure you keep the lid on your cup. You can get on our mailing list by downloading the QR code and following the instructions there. We want to invite you all to like us, to follow us, and to subscribe to our social media platforms, all of them, if you haven't done so. And lastly, if you are desiring prayer, our practitioners are available after service, and our practitioners are available for meditation throughout the week, different modalities, the phone and through Zoom, so you can go to our website, thecenterofpeace.org, and find out the information about that. All right.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody feeling? Beautiful lights. Well, like I always say, we welcome the liquid sunshine. Yes. Let's raise our hands up high. Say, I thank you for this day. I am so grateful for this day. Take a deep breath in. Put your hand over your heart. Send the love. You are the vibration of love and light. We are the lights of the world. Say, I am light. I send light all over the world. Take a breath in. I need a breath. Happy anniversary. Thank you. This song is done by Karen Drucker. It's called The Gifts of the Goddess. We are all gods and goddesses, yes? These are the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready? Say, I'm ready. Hey! I need some hand clapping. Come on, let's get it. These are the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive the gifts of the goddess? Love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive love? Are you ready? Joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? Woo! These are the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Gifts of the goddess. Hey, love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Joy, joy, are you ready? Peace, are you ready? Love, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Gifts of the goddess. Hey, love, joy, and peace, the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Compassion, are you ready? Forgiveness, are you ready? Laughter, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? Play a little bit. Mr. Will Cates, give him a hand, y'all. We're gonna bring in Nate. Come on, give him a little bit. Let's welcome Nate back home, y'all. These are the gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. You ready to receive? Gifts of the goddess. Love, joy, and peace, all the gifts of the goddess. Are you ready to receive? Passion, are you ready? Success, are you ready? Abundance, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready? Say, I'm ready. Are you ready to receive? Yeah! Are you ready? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey! You ready to receive? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, if you wouldn't mind standing to join me in the reading of the affirmation. You can scan it if you can find it on the QR code, but I'll be speaking it and you can repeat after me. Today, I choose to be joy.
Today, I choose to be joy.
I accept joy as my natural state
I accept joy as my natural state
and share it with all I meet.
and share it with all I meet.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And that was submitted by our licensed practitioner, Helen Moore. Today's reading comes from Science of Mind magazine, Sunday, April 21st edition, 2024, I'm sorry. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. William Faulkner. But what is fear? Nothing more or less than the negative use of faith. Faith misplaced. A belief in two powers instead of one. A belief that there can be a power opposed to God. Ernest Holmes, Science of Mind, page 156. Faith provides the transportation to arrive at your abundant dreams. Faith is your creative and wholehearted vibe that dares to believe in your enchanted journey. It existed before you arrived. It is the part of you that catches the greater vision and believes in it. Faith takes your attention away from the past and moves you through unknown territory, enabling you to avoid detours to disaster. Those who live behind their own restrictive walls of perception will be challenged to divert you from your path, as you will own anxious thoughts and beliefs. To doubt would be to use your faith backwards. You shatter your dreams when you permit your concerns to grow bigger than your faith. Raising your faith frequency doesn't make doubts or doubters go away, because their options will always be on the dial of possibilities. But it lifts you above the fray frequencies. You feel a new option rising, lifting you with it. You find a new prosperous frequency without concern because it is your good sense. Faith is knowing in your heart, beyond the influence of evidence to the contrary. It is your soul's realization of those vibrations above the physical senses. So keep the faith frequency playing, because amazing things happen right at the moment when you're about to give up. When you have faith, you have everything. And so it is. And that also was submitted by Helen Moore, licensed professional practitioner.
The next song is called Pour Yourself in Me. Say, I pour myself in me, love. Love. We need it so we can be the frequency and send the frequency of love wherever we are. We are the radiant lights of love. This is by Ricky Byers, good sister friend of mine. And it's called Pour Yourself in Me. Pour yourself into my heart. Pour yourself into me. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful spirit, pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Ah. Help me, help me, help me. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Play a little bit, Will. Dance a smile in me. Dance a smile into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Dance a smile in me. Dance a smile into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, 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 wonderful Spirit. Sing it. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. One more time. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Thank you. Nate and Will, thank you. And yours truly, Mama Marcy, send everybody love.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so what you don't know is that at the midnight hour, Marcy said yes to doing our music today. We were supposed to have someone else doing the music, and she got Nate and she got Will, and we had some music today. And so let's give them a round of applause. Yeah. So, oneness. A day at a time. How we doing? One day at a time. One day at a time. One day at a time. All right. So this morning, would you? Minute by minute. Ain't that the truth? So spiritual principles. I like to start with spiritual principles before we get into the message. The spiritual principles is titled What We Believe, written by Ernest Holmes more than 100 years ago. Ernest Holmes is the gentleman who wrote the Science of Mind textbook and a lot of other books that is the one who subsequently formed a religion called the Science of Mind. It was known as religious religious science before. So I'm just stating that for those of you who might not know who Ernest Holmes is. So we have numbered the principles, and there are lots of principles. This is just from what we believe. So this morning we are working with spiritual principle number 1. We believe in God, the living spirit, almighty one, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation, but it is not absorbed by its creation. Spiritual principle number 8. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. Spiritual principle number 9. We believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of this mind. And finally, spiritual principle number 5. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Well, this morning, what I have for us is the same old message. The same message that you find in the Bible, that you find in the Quran, that you find in any holy and sacred texts. This morning, what I have for us is a simple message. A simple message. And as simple as the message sounds, is as difficult as it is to prove it. Here it is. Change your thinking. Change your thinking. As difficult as it is, as simple as it sounds and as difficult as it is, it can be done. What makes it difficult is that, number 1, you've got to know what you're thinking. Number 2, then you've got to be willing to let go of what you're thinking. Not some of it, but all of it. Number 3, then you have got to allow a new thought to emerge. And it has got to be embraced, and it has got to be embodied. Change your thinking, because there is power in right thinking. You change your thinking, and soon you're back to thinking what you was thinking. It's elusive in that way. You know what I mean? You come in here thinking one thing, everything is in divine order, and your eyes will tell you, no, it's not. You know what I mean? Yes. Change your thinking. Change your thinking. You got it, Will?
I got it, sis.
You got it, Zuma?
Absolutely.
You got it?
I got it.
Change your thinking. Change your thinking. So, there is a part of us that is very skeptical and can be skeptical at times, especially when we are relying on our eyes and we are relying on our ears. Sometimes we find ourselves doubting, and sometimes we find ourselves thinking that nothing good can happen. We find ourselves thinking that nothing good will happen. Or we find ourselves thinking about what is going to happen. You know, it's the old waiting on the other shoe to drop kind of stance that we find ourselves in sometimes. But I'm so glad we're here today to remind each other that this is not the time for skepticism. It's not the time for skepticism. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to distrust, distrust. This is not the time to exclude. This is not the time to separate. This is not the time to fear. This is not the time to consume. This is not the time to become overwhelmed. It's time to prove. If you don't believe that this is not the time, that if you don't believe that it's time to prove, well, just look out in our world and decide for yourself whether or not it's time to prove something. We have an election coming up. Change your thinking. There's things happening, people out in this world. Listen, it's always been. But don't get caught up in it. Change your thinking. It's time to prove that we've changed our thinking. It's that simple. Our theme for the month, Prove Me Right. What exactly are we proving? We're proving that we've changed our thinking. It's not time for us to tune out. It's time for us to tune in. To tune in and to turn up. It's not time to fear. It's not time to worry. It's not time to doubt. It's time that we prove that we can change our thinking. It's time that we prove, as the principle stated, that we can control conditions. Not change conditions, but control conditions. That's very important. You should probably remind your neighbor, we can control conditions, not change them. Tell them again. We can control conditions, not change them. Yes, I think we got it. Listen, the storms are coming. You know what I'm saying? The water is here. The question is, do you have an umbrella? We can control conditions, not change them. The storms are coming. Do you have an umbrella? It's time that we prove our heavenly, show and prove our heavenly experience right here on earth. We can control conditions, not change them. In Ernest Holmes' book, Living Without Fear, he says a few things. I want to read from page 130 to start us off, 130, 131, and 132. In it, he says, science of mind connects life with living and spiritual reality with what we are doing. We must remember that no knowledge is of value unless used. If we know a truth, we can prove it. For that which we cannot prove, we only suppose to be true. He says, we resolve things into ideas, conditions into states of thought, and act upon the premise that the thought is father to the thing. This method is both direct and effective, and when rightly used, becomes a law unto the thing of thought. But in doing this, we often contact obstacles, negative ideas in our thought, which rob us of our good if we retain them. He says, we must resolve and dissolve this thought into its native nothingness, for it has no validation in a limitless universe. And then on page 125 and 126, he says, experiences in the endeavor to prove this theory, and the theory is that we have the ability to change our conditions, that our endeavor to prove this justifies our acceptance of it. Whether or not we have been successful as we would like to be in consciously directing our affairs through the creative power of thought, we may rest assured that any apparent failure may be ascribed to insufficient knowledge of the principle rather than to its unwillingness to operate for us. We are to prove that doubt and fear does not rule us. To prove that doubt and fear does not rule over us. Ernest Holmes says that there can be nothing operating against our word except our own doubt. Change your thinking. We have to come to a point in our lives where we have some level of acceptance of that which is before us. We have to come to a point in our lives where we have a level of acceptance of that which is before us, and a greater level of acceptance of that which is within us, a greater level of assurance of that which is within us. The problem is that most of us don't want to control conditions. We don't want to accept what is before us. We don't want to assure what is within us. We'd rather go for a simple solution, a quick solution. We rather have someone give something to us so that we can figure out how to make something stop. Listen, we can't stop the water from dripping. And if the tiles fall down, there's nothing that we can do about it. We can't stop the rain from coming. It's coming. Simple solution. Most of us want simple solutions. And a few weeks ago, we said that the teaching does not offer us solutions to our problems. Yet we still are desiring simple and instant solutions handed to us because we have not accepted that God in us is the solution. Having the umbrella is the simple solution. Now, just because you got the umbrella, you still need to know how to open the umbrella. You still need to have some wherewithal, some sense with yourself, then to put the umbrella up over your head. Are y'all with me this morning? Yes. This takes practice. Change your thinking. It takes practice. Listen, have you ever tried to open an umbrella when it's storming outside? When the wind is blowing, you're in the car trying to get out? I heard a gentleman say that once the rain is over, to many of us, the umbrella becomes a burden. I'll give it to you again. Once the rain is over, the umbrella becomes a burden. In other words, once you've prayed the prayer, once you've allowed a new thought in, the burden to continue to, it becomes a burden because we don't want to find time to continue to practice. We don't want to find time, we don't want to take time to delve into what we are thinking, and then to let go of whatever it is that we are thinking, and then to open up to a new idea. The whole process of it all becomes a burden to us once the thing that we wanted to have stopped has been stopped. Once the thing that we want to have changed has been changed. But listen, you can't expect to receive the benefit of changing your thinking if you're not engaged in the act of changing your thinking. If you're not in the act of changing your mind, you can't expect to experience the benefit of it. Change your thinking. We can't expect to control conditions if we do not control our minds. So, what is it exactly then that we can prove? And whatever it is that we can prove, we ought to prove. We can prove that we no longer allow ourselves to let any old thought or any old thought just to simply enter in and have its way. We can prove that. We can prove that we no longer entertain or in the business of entertaining thoughts of fear. We're no longer in the business of entertaining thoughts of uncertainty. We're no longer in the business of entertaining thoughts of doubt. We're no longer in the business of entertaining thoughts of lack. We're no longer in the business. We can prove that. You can prove it, and I can prove it. And we should prove it. In Ernest Holmes' book, Living Without Fear, I'm on page 126 now. He says, each man and woman should be the master of his own mental household, although but a few of us are. And he that ruleth his spirit is better than he that taketh a city. He says that the problem is one of real belief. He says that we are too liable to be awed by the form and to stop at our point of contact with the tangible object. We go so far and no farther, refusing to look beyond to that which created it. This intellectual obstruction is a lack of spiritual perception, a denial of the creative cause, and it results in limitation. An intellectual obstruction. Anybody who's not engaged in the act of changing their thinking can find themselves obstructing the thoughts that they thought was going to get them the thing that they wanted. Intellectual obstruction. Change your thinking. He says we all should be masters of our own mental household, though only a few of us are. That ought to tell us something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, for real? You got that? You got that? You mastered the mind? Only a few of us are. Listen, in other words, what he's saying is that the one who has an umbrella and they've opened it and they've used it fares way better than somebody who's got 100 umbrellas and ain't done nothing with it. All you need is one if you know how to use it. So some of you know and some of you don't know, but I did a stint in the United States Air Force when I was a little young girl. And a part of the time while I was serving in the United States Air Force, my job was law enforcement, right? We were the enforcers of the law, serious business. So in training, they teach you a whole lot of things. When you're in the military, once you decide what it is you're going to do, you have to go to training to learn how to do the job. And then, boom, they send you to do the job, right? So what I learned in my law enforcement training was that just as important as it was for me to be able to assess the situation quickly and to identify threats quickly, just as important as that was, and what I learned was just as important as it was for me to practice and to be able to use my firearm safely and accurately, that just as important was that when you were assigned your station that morning when you showed up for work, the number one thing on our mind is that you never leave your post. never, ever leave your post. If you got to use the bathroom, you wait for somebody to come and relieve you. So you can go and relieve yourself, then you come back to your post. When it's time to eat, you have to wait for somebody to come and relieve you so you can go and eat. When we started our day, to get to the post, you get in a car. The car takes you to your post. You don't get in your car and drive to your post. And then at the end of the day, when it's time for your shift to end, somebody comes and gets you. You get in the car and they take you back to your car. And then that person and there's somebody else in the car to take your place. You never leave your post. This is very, very important. And it becomes especially important when you are at a base where there's one way in and one way out. Never leave your post. And it becomes ever more important when you're at a base and there's only one way in and there's one way out, and the world is at the end of a war, and the threat for anybody to jump the fence, or for anybody to come onto the base that's not supposed to be on the base. The threat is high. So, never, ever leave your post. What did we do? We guarded the post. That was our job. Guard the post. People come on, check their IDs. Ask them what business do they have here. When people go off, make sure that they had a sticker in their car that said they can be on the base. And it's okay for them to leave the base. Each of us had a post to guard. And each of us, we have a post to guard. It is our mind. Your mind and my mind. Guard your post. What do I mean by that? Well, we are to prove that we can think. And not only are we to prove that we can think, but we are to prove that we can think rightly. Okay? So, in the ancient Kemetic teachings, from this book, The Teachings of Ptah-hotep, one of the oldest books in the world. I'm going to tell you this again. One of the oldest books in the world. That every other holy book has pulled from and drawn from. It has some lessons in here for us. Let me read to you what it says in lesson 13. It says, if you are a guard in the storehouse, stand or sit rather than leave your post. And trespass into someone else's place. Now, it's been 2 weeks. The message done told us, mind your business. I don't know if y'all got it. I got it. Okay. Follow this rule from the first. Day in, day out. Follow this rule. Never leave your post, even when you're tired. Never leave your post. If you get tired, listen, I'm tired. I'm going to need you to help me guard my post, to guard my mind, because I'm thinking everything is in divine order. And when I get here, mine eyes deceiveth me. And I've changed my thinking. Even if you are fatigued. It goes on to say, keen is the face to him who enters announced, and spacious is the seat of him who has been asked to come in. The storehouse has fixed rules. If you let it in, it's got to come out. Listen, tell your neighbor, the rule is fixed. The rule is fixed. If the thought goes in, the thought has got to come out. All behavior is strictly by the rule. Only a God can penetrate the secure warehouse when and where the rules are followed. The simple rule: change your thinking. Guard your mental house. Change your thinking. Guard your mental house. Stay out of other people's business. Mind your own business. Don't be trespassing into what somebody is thinking. And do whatever you got to do to change your thinking. The reading said if you got to stand, stand. If you got to sit, sit. Let me give it to you in some terms you can take with you and you can use. If it means don't go over their house, don't go over their house. Change your thinking. If your eyes is the one who's making it clear for you, inform your eyes. It's my inner eye that I see through. If you hear something that doesn't sound right, assume that it's not right. Whatever you got to do, change your thinking. Change your thinking. You know, I was thinking this morning that soon we realize that we are a lot like them people. You know what I mean? When it comes to changing your thinking, I was thinking, you know, my grandmother would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she'd be in there praying and praying and praying and praying. Listen, at any time she'll break out in a prayer, at any time she'll break out in praise, anytime she'll break out in a song. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Yeah, that was me this morning. Listen, soon you discover you're a lot more like these people than you think you are. And I ain't afraid to say it. Because I'm committed to changing my thinking. She pray all the time, and guess what? I do too. She'll bust out in a song anytime, and guess what? I will too. I'm just trying to change my thinking. I'm committed to it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. 3 years, 4 years, don't go, don't do it, I ain't going, and I ain't gonna do it. Whatever it takes. The ground upon which I stand is holy. I'm one with God. My roots run deep into the rich soil of the infinite all good. This good is flowing through me now. No longer am I deterred or disturbed by what I see and what I hear. Change your thinking, change your thinking, change your thinking, change your thinking. You know, it's hundreds and thousands of books imploring us to change our thinking. It's like we just don't get it. You got it? You got it? Change your thinking. You got it? Change your thinking. Change your thinking. Change it. And keep it changed, Zuma just said. Last thing, in Living Without Fear, Ernest Holmes on page 87, in this reading titled, The Power of Right Thinking. Remember we said the reason we change our mind is because there's power in thinking right. He says, the power of our prayer, our thought, spiritual mind treatment is only equal to our conviction of the truth, our embodiment of reality, and our unconditioned reliance upon God. Having accepted the proposition that we are not only immersed in a sea of living and creative intelligence, but that this original cause flows through our own minds into new creations, it naturally follows that we should examine our thoughts to see what we are really believing in. If the original mind can flow through us only at the level of our acceptances of life, which seems certain, then our acceptances of life automatically decide what is going to happen to us. Clear thinking converts the mind. Clear thinking revitalizes the consciousness. Clear thinking readjusts our valuations and gives us a new outlook on life. We no longer ask, what is the possibility of life, but we seek to determine the nature of our thinking. We seek to determine what we are thinking. And then we seek to let go of whatever it is that we are thinking. And we seek to become open to a new idea. I remember being at a conference once, and Bishop Carlton Pearson, who has passed away now, who was a religious Pentecost. And I remember he was doing a message one time, and he was talking about New Thought and how much he loved this teaching. And then he looked out at the audience and he said, you all who suppose or propose this idea about New Thought ain't had a new thought in a long time. Change your thinking. Simple. Yet divine, and requires all of us to be committed to oneness, a day at a time. Why change your thinking? Because it gives you a new outlook on life. It gives you a new outlook into the present moment. It opens you up to a new thought. Let it never become a burden for us, a burden for you and a burden for me, to change our thinking. Because this is not the time for skepticism. This is not the time to fear. This is not the time to worry. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to distrust. This is not the time to consume. This is not the time to fear. This is not the time to worry. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to prove that you can change your thinking. Change your thinking. It's time that we prove that we can control conditions, not change them. Practitioners, join me as we take this moment to further anchor into all of that which is before us today, which is the divine idea and the mind of God flowing through each of us. I affirm and I know and recognize in this moment that there is but one life. There is but one mind, one power, and one presence, and it is mighty. It is the very magnificence of our being. It is the world and the world within us. Let us recognize it to be so and unify with it. Let us change our thinking. Let us change our mind from a sense of separation to one of unified and wholeness and oneness, and that where God is, I am, that God and I are one. Let us change our thinking to behold this, till we get to the point where it's personified in us, through us, and as us. We don't talk about it, we are about it. So from this stance, from this place and this space, then, as we deal with our simple idea of changing our thinking, let everything within us be willing to examine our mind. Let everything within us be willing to examine the thoughts that we are thinking. And then let everything within us be willing to let it go. Let it all go. And then let everything within us be open and available to a new thought, a new idea that is God ordained and God sustained. And then let us see the wonders that it works in our life. Let us be the beholders of it. Let us become a witness to it. Let us be willing to change our thinking. Change your thinking, Twana. Change your thinking. 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 Guard your storehouse. Do whatever you got to do. I affirm and I know that this doing then, that it comes from within in a way that allows us and affords us the experience to do what we got to do with ease and grace, so that there's no out in the doing and the being, but a leaning into. Change your thinking. Change your thinking. Let us give thanks then in this moment for the change thinking, the change mind, the change behavior, the change action that we've already experienced. And let us rejoice in knowing that there is more, that the opportunity is ripe and ready for someone to break out in praise, for somebody to affirm that life is good. The time is ripe and ready for us to affirm that God is. Let us release any sense of skepticism and affirm and know life is good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. When I rose this morning, I didn't have no doubt. No doubt. Hallelujah. Glory, glory. No doubt. Mine eyes and my ears, they got to come along. Let us be willing to guard our storehouse, our mental house. Let us be aware of what comes in and what goes out. As we rejoice in this moment to remind each other, let us give praise and be moved in this moment to gather it all in, taking it within ourselves, where our word surely becomes made manifest, where our word surely cannot return unto us void. We let it be simply, and we claim it together by saying, and so it is.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
So it is. As our practitioners take their seats, I want to call our ushers forward as we prepare ourselves to move into a time of giving. I want to invite you simply to take your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings out. As we take some time simply just to acknowledge those who have already given, those who give online. Ah. Well, well, well. We want to bring it all into the storehouse. Those who've already given, those who give online, and those who are giving now. Join me as we take this moment to turn within and not to miss out on this opportunity truly to give thanks. Join me in knowing that we are ever one with that which is infinite, ever giving of itself, inexhaustible in its giving. It is it then that is doing the giving even now. So I know that we can never outgive the giver. In it, I know then that every cent that we receive today, that it moves the center of peace, individually and collectively, out into this world with a great, great commitment to change our thinking, doing whatever we have to do to guard our mind, and inviting others to do the same. So I know that just as we are blessed, that the giver too is blessed 1,000,000 times fold. Simply, it can be no other way. So for every cent that we receive, I do give thanks. I do give thanks, and so it is.
When you give, when you receive, when you give, know that God is all there is. So who's giving what to whom? When we give, who's giving what to whom? When we receive, the level of our giving we receive. Oh, when we give, who's giving what to whom? When we receive, who's giving what to whom? When we give, know that God is all there is. So who's giving what? Who's giving what? Who's giving what to whom?
All right. So with that, let us stand and prepare to sing our closing. With that, let us stand and prepare to sing our closing song as our choir comes forward. You can find the lyrics to our closing song, our release, in the back of your chairs. If you're not familiar with it, you can use the cards in the back of your chairs as well to download the lyrics to the song. I want to remind you, as the choir is coming forward, that our practitioners are here today, and they have on the purple stoles, and they stand ready to join you and pray with you and for you if you are desiring prayer today. Just simply find one of our practitioners, as I said, with the purple stoles on, and know that your time with the practitioner is held in the most confidence. It's a sacred opportunity to serve, and that we treat it as such. All right.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself.
Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand.
But now I can say, if you're discouraged, trying just to make it through another day,
You have got to let it go.
let it go.
Let it go, go.
You gotta let it go.
And this is what you have to say, everybody. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, and no more strife. With my faith, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let it go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Only here for God. No more struggle, and no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only
as we journey on throughout our week. Remember, this is not the time for skepticism. This is the time for us to bust out in prayer, to bust out in song and dance. It is time for us to prove that we can change our thinking. And so it is.
So it is.
I got a new point of view, and I'm looking in the distance. Yeah, today I chose to start anew because I've been feeling so listless. I have found a place where I can rest my weary head. Yeah. Beautiful is the peace and energy I feel instead. Yeah. Because I'm changing my perspective. I am seeing things so differently. Perspective, it's an energy inside. I'm hoping to seek it, willing to find a new frame of mind. Perspective, yeah, I'm changing mine. I gotta let go of the past. perspective. It's an energy inside. I'm hoping to seek and willing to find a new frame of mind. Perspective. Yeah, I'm changing my perspective. I am seeing things so different.